Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another masterclass with the Modern Conducting Academy. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Normandy, the founder, and tonight we are here with Jenny Tisi, and she is the Children's and Youth Choir Director at All Saints Episcopal Church in Pasadena, California. She's going to tell us all about the magic that she works with her youth and ensembles in her church and tell you how you can build a successful and thriving youth program as well.
Hi, so thanks for being here, and thank you for having me on this great
Absolutely.
masterclass. Okay, so I was a public school teacher, music teacher for 22 years, and then 13 years ago I decided to get out of public school and go into the church world, and I became the Children's and Youth Choir Director at All Saints Church in Pasadena. And what I walked into was a very developed children's and youth choir program. It was pretty much regarded as like a community children's choir program, but at a church. And it had leaders before me, but the person that was before me was actually one of the co-founders of the Los Angeles Children's Chorus. And so it was a very big program, and the kind of program like that they had, that they were different levels and moving up, different voicings. And the only difference was that it was at a church. And so because she worked in both places, only a block apart, a lot of kids went back and forth between both programs. So the program really flourished and grew. So over time, she ended up creating more levels of choirs. And then I came in 2011 and took over and made little changes here and there to the program to tweak it to what fits our needs right now. You see that fully? Okay, good. So I just want to say today that what we will learn in this session is we will discuss the importance and the power of children and youth voices in worship, how to build a children's and youth choir program, the formation of community, holding standards for a quality music program, how to design an effective rehearsal strategy, and where we go beyond the walls with our choir programs. We'll also discuss how we as choral directors keep ourselves educated and continue to work and develop our own craft. So one thing I want to say before, and you and I had this talk before when we were brainstorming about this, is religion is not transforming. It is transforming. It's not dying. And there's some pain in the church world right now because numbers are down from COVID. People are not going to church. There's a lot going on in our country where people are just feeling that church is not a place for them. So these are just some things for us to think about. Is that many people will say we are a Christian nation becoming a secular nation. And is that really the case? Or is the church not transforming to meet the needs of the current day? Is transformation a bad thing? And why are we afraid of this? And why are we afraid to embrace it? Are we relevant? How can we as musicians work together instead of creating and exacerbating the divide in our church world over style and traditions? And do we still believe that we live in a time where children should be seen and not heard? Are our services being focused on educating adults that we forget the needs of children and families? And that children are not just our future, they are our present. And that's just really important for us to understand. We always say children are the future, but they're here now, and children have a lot of important things to teach us. This is just a quick little history of what the program used to be. I mean, it started out with this group called the Jugglers, which was kind of cool. They used to play handbells and sing and go back and forth. And then we've really not done any handbells anymore since occasionally if we have a piece. But now the two ensembles that are our main focus are our mixed ensemble, which is a 6th to 12th grade ensemble called Trouveurs, and then our 1st to 5th grade ensemble, which is Unidad, which is a 1st to 5th grade ensemble. And then we have a tenor bass ensemble, and we have a chamber choir, which is our treble ensemble. So through time, we just meet the needs of what our congregation needs and go with it. A little bit of thought about COVID and how that has affected our programs. Has it impacted church attendance? Who is coming and who is not? This has very much affected my attendance and my growth. We used to have, where we used to have 140 kids in the choir program, we're now at 60 because a lot of families and children are not coming back to church after lockdown. People are still afraid. People would just rather watch on church, or people just are not making time on Sundays or any other day of the week for church activities. We have a very large streaming community. And then that makes me think, are there things that we can be doing? Are there things that we can offer? Can we offer classes online for people that don't even go to our church? Could we continue to make virtual choirs? I made 40 of them during COVID. I don't really ever want to go that route again, but it was a lot. But one example I want to give you is I have this this choir member, Eden. And if you look at this picture down here, you can see Eden is on a computer on a chair with the other kids sitting around her. And I'll tell you a little bit about her story, because I think it's important for us to understand that there are some ways that we can reach out to our online families. So Eden used to be a kid that was here in Pasadena, and then through some family changes, her family moved to Arizona, 4 hours away. But she was raised in this program. She was raised in this choir program, and it was hard for her to make the break. And we wanted her to have this consistency of what she had grown up with. So she now attends rehearsals on screen, has a Google Drive with all the music in it. And her family actually drives her on the Sundays that she sings 4 hours once a month for her to come and sing with the choir. So in my mind, I could be thinking, well, I really don't know what Eden sounds like. Will she affect the blend? All of those things that we would like worry about, we just don't need to think about, because this is more about meeting the needs of the people, meeting the needs of our kids, than it may necessarily about meeting anything else. That's the most important thing. I have this book. I love this book. I don't know if you know this book, but it's Honoring Trans and Gender Expansive Students in Music Education. Even if you don't have trans kids, I have a ton of them in my program. The very beginning of this book talks about the first thing that you teach are the people. The first thing is it's about the kids. We teach people, then it becomes about the experience and the content. So for me, it was more about Eden and meeting her family's needs for her so that she can continue to be a part of this program. The kids completely embrace her. They gather around her on the screen. Sometimes they fight about who they get to, if they get to be partners with her on the screen. They love having her as part of the community. So that's just something that came out of COVID that, we learned how to do. We learned how to teach online. And it's still a way that we can still meet the needs of people who are either not in our community or who will make the effort to actually drive here 4 hours away to come and sing on a Sunday.